Hello everybody, it's Ryza here once again, and welcome back to another box, the last box of March of 2025. It's hard to believe, but this year is already a quarter over. Feels like just yesterday was New Year's. But anyways, we've got two figures in here. Yes, two figures, but they are one. Yes. I guess you could technically say it's three figures, but the one thing I'm not going to use. But it's in a nice big box because it is a dual figure. And this one came from Good Smile, so shipping was cheap at least. So yeah, let's go ahead and get them open. You already have seen the title and thumbnail and everything, so you know, I know. Let's get them open and then we shall discuss them. So I was looking and it's been just over a year since I've ordered these figures. So it was surprising. They're Phat and they only had one delay. So we'll go and pop that open. We'll pop that open. And we'll pop this open and make some noise. We've got the Good Smile bubble wrap. And there they are under some bubble wrap. Wow. There's not a lot of extra space on the sides of this box. Let me go ahead and set this off to the side so that I can get them out. Sorry for the absolutely riveting content right now, but this is kind of difficult to do. Come on. There we go, finally. Now we'll just hold that up and put it over there. So there we go. We have some figures inside of tissue paper. Let's tilt the camera up just a little bit. And we shall rip the tissue paper. And there we go. And from what I saw, they are actually much bigger than I was expecting. It's always a good thing. So as you can see, this is Ryza, or Reisalin Stout, and Klaudia Valentz, the China dress versions of them. You could buy these two figures separate, or you could buy them as the set. And I decided to buy them as the set. They are from Atelier Ryza 2, The Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy. They are 1/6 scale figures, manufactured by Phat Company. They released on March 27th of 2025. I ordered them March 5th of 2024. Wound up paying, or Good Smile charged me on March 19th of 2025. They shipped out on the 27th via FedEx and got delivered today on the 31st. So they were pretty not cheap. So this set cost $281.99, but flat rate $18 shipping. So yay. And like I said, you could buy them individually. So if you only like Ryza, you could get just her. If you only like Phat, you could, or not Phat, Claudia, you could get just her. You can only get Phat in the set, and Phat is not the one is the thing I'm not going to use. So yay. There they are from the front of the box. Good Smile partner product, Phatism, and the, titles and everything. And yeah, they definitely seem quite big to me. There they are from the side, and from the back, the other side. There's the top of the box. And then the bottom of the box, if you can read upside down, you can read upside down. So let's go ahead and get them open and have a look at them. So yeah, I was in my Ryza kick when these came out, and I've always liked China dresses, so I didn't have to think very hard to buy these. There we go. Go ahead and pull them out. There's instructions on the inside. The inside liner is kind of a dark bronze gold color, and it's got some china like window patterns and everything, and a couple little flower ornaments and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and set this off to the side. There's the pretty ladies in their blister packaging. So there they are from the front. You got Ryza and Claudia and Phat, and you've got the special holding hands. Very, very lewd, I know. There they are from the side. There they are from the back. Again, you could buy them separate, so they do come with individual bases. They also come with a special set base. There's the other side. And back to the front. So here's the instructions. So I don't know if you can read Japanese or not. Let's do a normal zoom so it focuses a little bit. So we get Ryza and Claudia, and when they're separate they can hold their cakes or buns or whatever. Got Phat, you've got a smiley face, you got some poofs of some sort, you got the arms, you've got the special base, you got Ryza base, you got Claudia base, and you've got a special, probably a thing to hold Phat. So you can swap their arms, and then there's how you put the bases together. You swap the pole and everything, and then you can do that. So nothing super complicated or anything. I think we can figure it out. Let's go ahead and get these open. So I'm debating if I should even open the individual bases because I'm not planning on using them. I think I will, just so that we can show them off to you guys. But like I said, I'm not going to use. Well, I'm not planning on using them. You never know, I may. Okay. How do these come off? Okay. So this is Ryza's because it's got the support pole. And so you can see they've kind of got a smoky finish to them, and then they've got that kind of lightning effect. It's kind of like a thundercloud. You got metal pegs, and then you got a nice tall support, clear support rod, which sucks. Yay. So that's Ryza's base. Go ahead and put this back in the baggie. Because as I said, I do not plan to use this right now. Or ever. I could in the future. Pull out Claudia's base. And again, we've got some metal pegs. And the same smoky, cloudy thunderstorm effect. Looks actually pretty cool, I think. Made in China. So let's put that back in there. And put it back in here. And this is the little base for Phat, which I'm not going to even bother pulling out. Put that off to the side. Now we shall get the main blister open. Okay, so there is tape on the bottom even. And then tape on the sides. I don't think there's any on the top, but I'll cut it anyways, just in case. And there we go. How much ruckus can we make? These rivets are very secure. There we go. Okay, so we'll start off with the special two-person base. Strong plastic smell. Okay, so instead of the smoky storm effect, we've got a wooden plank or floor. And it does have some different colors in there, so it's like a dark red wood with like darker edges and everything. You've got the tall support rod for Ryza's foot and her metal pegs. You've got some metal pegs for Claudia. You've got a hole for Phat. And it's actually a reasonable size base too, so yay. Shouldn't take up too much space. There's the bottom, copyright 2020, all rights reserved, made in China, and whatever that says. Probably Atelier Ryza 2. We've got a metal pole. This is what Phat rests on. So yeah, we'll set that off to the side. Let's see, undo some plastic. Okay, so we have to take the pretties out to get the other pieces out. So this is the special hand holding, 2 arms holding hands. Very, very lewd. Yes, definitely a strong plastic smell. Nice long fingernails, or fingers, and you've got fingernails. They are painted, good shading in there. The fingers are intertwined. They are all separate. So very good. I think this is Ryza. Whoever this one's hands are, the fingers seem to be a darker color. And this one I think is Claudia. The fingers are a ever so slightly lighter color. But yeah, good shape to them. Most likely we'll be using these. Okay. Oh, so these are not poofs. They are like nuts, chestnuts or something. Yeah. So there's 2 of them. I'm assuming they go with the food plate, so I'm going to leave these in here. And then you've got a smiley face bun. See? Smiley face. It is flat on the bottom. So yay. Again, I think this is food related, so we shall put that back in here. And again, we have Phat. I don't know, I've never played the game. I don't know who Phat is. I just know I don't like it, so I'm not going to use it. But it's kind of a old Chinese rabbit thingy with some strange tail. He's got mustache. He's got an ornament on his forehead. He's got a cap with a little, kind of looks like a cat face on it with a little bead on top. Big giant ears. Hole in his butt. Little tiny feet. And big fluffy paws. So yay. And that's the last we'll see of him. And if he's your favorite character, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So we'll take Ryza out. So her head comes off because there's plastic going under it. And I throw her head around. Put that back in. Set her down. Pull Claudia out. There's some plastic around her arm, which is loose. Looks like her head also comes off. This is probably to make it easier to change out their arms, I guess. Since her arm is very loose, I'm going to just take it off. There we go. Take that plastic off, put her head back on. And I'm noticing her dress is like translucent plastic. How does this go back on? I think like this. Where does it go? Oh, it's gotta go like this because it is keyed, so it only goes in one way. Come on, get in there. There we go. We'll take the plastic off of her leg. We'll put her arm back on. We'll set her off to the side now. And we shall clean up a mess. and then we shall look at pretties. Let me put this off to the side. No! All the plastic is falling. So I'm going to do something. And what was that something I was going to do? You'll never know. Or I just paused the video. So we're going to start looking at Klaudia, who, if I were to only buy one, I would buy Ryza. Klaudia, not my favorite character in the show or anything, but she is cute and she was part of the set. So we bought her. So there is her face. You know what? Let's go ahead and disassemble her again, even though it was a pain to get her head back on. It'll make things easier to view. So there is her face. She's got nice yellowish green eyes. She's got some blush, little pointy nose. Her mouth is kind of a very slight smile. It's mostly just a straight line. She does have ears. She's got a little hairband ornament. You got some little black beads hanging down there. Kind of looks almost like a sundial on the top. We have her hair tied in a bun in the back. It's got a ribbon hanging down. And then you've also got strands coming down. Lots of individual strands. They are fairly pointy. You could stab yourself on a couple of them. And I noticed when I was taking it off this time, we've got a peg that goes into her chest. Top of the hair, not too messy. There is some nice shading in there. It's pretty subtle, but it is there. And if we look at her neck, we do see it does have a metal peg. So we'll go ahead and set that down. This is her default arm. If you only get her, you would just get this. You've got the little steamer basket. That's where you would put the bun and probably the chestnuts. It is on a plate, and the plate is being held up by her fingers. All of her fingers are nice and dainty and individual. You can see the knuckles in her pinky. You can see the fingernail polish. There is some shading there, so the fingertips are more pink than the top back of the hand. Got some muscles in her forearm and her little bicep. See part of her dress back there. And then you see some cutouts on her arm for her dress. If we look there, you can maybe see some palm lines hiding up there. So that's her default arm. So her dress. This could be an effect of the light, but it does appear that the dress and the entire chest is a chunk of clear or translucent plastic. It doesn't look like she actually has a body, so to speak, under there. So we have ghost boobs. There is the slot that her hair pegs into. No cleavage. You've got the little gold trim of the vest going down there. Her boobs do have points to them, so she's got nipples under there. We've got a vacuum sealed belly button. We've got some stretches in her china dress. And then it is also vacuumed to her crotch region. Got nice long flaps on the front and the back. She does have a cutout on her back, a back window. This arm stays on her. So she's holding it pretty straight down. From this angle, we do see she's got some pretty wide hips compared to her back. Got some good details on her elbow. Again, all the fingers are individual. Got fingernail polish and shading. We've got some tendons in her wrist. Some palm lines. Got some thick thighs. It looks rough, but it feels smooth. We can see her straps are definitely digging into her thighs. She's got it's not a super giant booty, but it is juicy. Important question is answered. She is wearing some white ones. And I don't know if you can see it up there, but we do see a peak of her belly as well. She's got some nice long legs, very detailed knees, shading and wrinkles and sculpting details. She's got some pretty thick thighs and calves. She is wearing some nice high-heeled pumps, kind of like if you had a bunny figure. Yay. And I wasn't going to do this, but I pulled out their individual bases so we can do an individual spin around of them. So let's go ahead and put her on. Actually, I'm going to put her head on first because I think it'll be easier, because it was a pain to get off. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and plug her hair into her chest and stick her arm on. And gotta make sure the little strand does not get caught in the arm as you stick it on. Just give it a little squeeze. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and tilt the camera back down again. And if we look, she has 2 holes on this foot and 1 hole on this foot. So that will help you line everything up. There we go. I'm not going to push too hard. I am noticing the base is pretty wibbly wobbly, so she is mainly balancing on the center, like it's protruding down a little bit more than the edges. So just a word of warning there. So there is Claudia by herself. Let's go ahead and do a spin. So yeah, pretty cute. I've been asked to focus on her a little bit by a certain person who loves blonde figures. So quality-wise, I think she's really good. It does look a little rough on her thigh, like they didn't sand it enough, but then they coated it with a smooth paint, so it is what it is. And then, like I said, it is a little strange. Probably won't be an issue once I shut off the bright lights, but she basically has a ghost chest, and it's like a translucent plastic there. So yeah, but other than that, I think she looks good. I like the way the dress is clinging to her booty in the back. You can see the cheeks and the line, the crack. Got some nice details on her dress as well, little star patterns. Yeah, overall looks pretty good. And I do like the kind of thunderstormy type base. So we'll go ahead and set her off to the side. And then we shall pull up Ryza, or Reisalin Stout. So there she is. Similarly, we're going to try to disassemble her. So I think it should be this arm that comes off. And then again, her head should come off. These are very tight fitting, so you probably don't want to swap them very often. So there is Ryza's face. She's a happy girl. She's nice brown eyes. She's got a kind of curly-Q mouth smile, like a cat mouth. She does have some gold shine in her hair, which is a design choice for sure. She has a metallic gold-looking pinwheel ornament on her braid. She also has a hairband with her little ribbons, nice and brown. Again, she is blushing. Looks like she has poofy cheeks a bit. She has quite detailed ears on both sides. Hair has good shading on it, multiple layers on the bottom, shorter hair. And she's got two buns and kind of like crown ornaments underneath them, holding them together. This one has a yellow ribbon. Well, they both have yellow ribbons. Top of the hair, again, not too messy. Yeah, looks pretty cute. And again, she's got a metal peg in her neck. So that is Ryza's head. Here's her arm. So one of them will probably hold the bun, and the other one holds the chestnuts. We've got her hand. Again, all the fingers are spread out. Her ring finger is not actually touching the plate, so she's holding that out a little bit separately. We've got some knuckles, painted fingernails. She does have a black wristband or bracelet. The arm, again, you get some muscles in the forearms. The bicep is not as obvious, but it is there slightly. Yeah, there's the peg that goes into her chest. I'll set that down. So now we shall pull up her body. So again, no actual cleavage because she is wearing a china dress, but it is tight, so it is definitely separating her chest. And there goes one light, so yay. There is her arm. We've got some patterns on the cleavage region, and her china dress ties on the side. Got the clasps there. The dress is kind of a navy blue, almost purplish color. And we do see in the light there is some pointiness at the nipple region. She has yellow orangish straps holding the flaps together on the hips. This hand, ring and middle finger are together, one piece, but all the other ones are individual. Fingernails very detailed and painted. Up here we do see a bit of flesh up there, a nice fold in the armpit region, some shape to her arm. Important question for Ryza. The answer is black. So she is wearing black ones. She's got quite the juicy thighs and booty region. Again, we've got some nice long brown stockings on her. This one, nice detail in the knee region. Nice thick calves and thighs. Again, the dress is hugging her booty. It's going up the crack. Very, very form-fitting. And she also has a back window. We can see her shoulder blades sticking out a bit. This foot has one hole. This one has the two holes. There looks to be a little paint chip there, but that's, you know, where the peg is. No big deal. The dress does make a funky little jut out there, which doesn't necessarily make sense, but it is what it is. So we'll go ahead and put her head on. Hers goes on much easier than Claudia's. Go ahead and put her arm on. So let's go ahead, set her down for the moment and get the base over here. So this is her individual base. If you got her separate, or you want to display them separately. So foot pegs, the metal pegs going nice and easy on her, and then we just gotta fiddle with that one to get it lined up right. Not sure if this support is 100% necessary, but it's there, so I'll use it. And her base is a little slightly more stable than Claudia's, but still pretty wibbly wobbly. So we'll go ahead and tilt the camera up, and we shall look at Ryza. We'll do a nice spin on her. Again, quality-wise, I think is pretty good. Her dress, it's kind of shiny, but kind of matte at the same time. I do like how this flap is wrapped around her knee a little bit, so you can see that detail there. Again, this one doesn't necessarily make sense. It's almost like it got caught on something. But Again, looking at her straight on from the back, you can see just how wide her hips are compared to her waist. Yeah, I think she looks pretty good. And then if we slide her over to the side, we can go ahead and put Claudia up there. So there's a comparison of the two individualized. So I had thought maybe you could put the put them on this shared base without changing their arms, but you definitely do need to change it. The place would definitely get in the way. But we'll do a nice spin of both of them, and then we shall transfer them to their final base. So yay. And I'm thinking it's going to be easiest to take their arms off, put them on the base, and then put the special arm on. So yay, let's get to that. Okay, so we'll take Claudia off first, since it was a little bit harder to put on. Just gonna wiggle her until she comes off. Put the base down, and then we shall pop her arm off. Set that over there. And now, if we tilt the camera down again, bring in the base, line her foot up. That one's started. This one needs to fiddle a little bit, get it lined up. And there we go. Not too hard to put her on. Go ahead and tilt the camera up. We'll slide her off to the side. Now we'll pull Ryza up. Pop her off the support and then pull her off the base. Nice and easy. We'll go ahead and pop her arm off. Set that off to the side. Get a nice view of her vacuum sealed belly button. Now we'll pull this in close again. Tilt the camera down. Should be relatively simple. Yep. Goes onto the base nice and easy. And then fiddle with her foot a bit to get it onto the support. And there they are on the base. Now comes the fiddly part, which the camera is in the way always. So we'll go ahead and work Ryza's arm in. Nope. Ryza has the bracelet. And again, the arms are keyed, so they only go in one way. Give it some pressure. Very, very tight fit. So probably won't be coming apart again unless I really work at it. Okay, let's go ahead and get Claudia's arm in. Again, got to be careful with her hair. There we go. Good enough for now, at least. Very lewd. We'll just make sure they're nice and tight on their base. Go ahead and stick it up on the turntable, and we shall do a spin, and then we'll do some close-ups. And again, if you like Phat, you would put his metal pole there, and he would come up and be, hiding behind their lewd hand-holding. So yeah, Ryza and Claudia, they're friends. They're lewd together. But they are very cute. I think Phat did a pretty good job on these. No real flaws to speak of that I can see. There was that little paint chip, and I think once I turn off the bright lights and get regular light, it'll be fine. Everything else. But good details on their hair. Very well detailed hands. They are taller than I was expecting. I knew they were 1/6, but for some reason I was still expecting them to be smaller. Honestly, to me, they almost look like 1/5. So yay. Let's go ahead and bring them a little bit closer. We shall do a 3-time zoom. I should have done this when they were individual. Shows how unprepared I was for this. And of course, I have the framing all wrong, so yay. That's one of the hard things to do, is get them, perfectly positioned on the center of the turntable, and then get the camera lined up right so that they all stay in the center when you do a spin. But there is their chest regions. And then we'll go down to their booty region. Again, I love the way that the dress just clings to their booties. It puts the shape into your head, and it's very nice. You don't need to have, super lewd, naked, exposed figures. Leave a little to the imagination, and yeah. But sometimes it is nice to have that, visual impact of no clothes. But yeah, I think they look very good. I am happy with these. Price-wise, that is a good question. Are they overpriced? Are they reasonably priced? Are they good, bad? I want to personally say I think they're a little on the expensive side. But you do get accessories with them. They are pretty good quality. They are large. And I can understand the price, especially once you start figuring in license fees and everything. And they're super popular characters too. Booty shot and booty shot. Claudia hides hers quite a bit more than Ryza does. There is a top-down shot of them. So yay. We'll go ahead and put the camera back and we'll close this off. So this is Ryza and Claudia, or Reisalin Stout and Klaudia Valentz. They also come with fee, which I am not using. They are from Atelier Ryza 2. Let me say that again. Atelier Ryza 2, Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy. They are 1/6 scale figures manufactured by Phat Company. They released on March 27th of 2025. I ordered them from Good Smile, and I paid $281.99 and $18 flat rate FedEx shipping. So they got here reasonably quick and for cheap. So yay. I hope you enjoyed. I'm happy with them. I think they're cute. And I'll see you soon, because I've got 3 other boxes in the mail that may be here tomorrow or may not. It all depends on customs and the post office. See you soon. Bye-bye.